Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast
live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good night, everyone. Let me know if you're seeing me clearly. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. If you're seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 354. I trust that everybody who is hearing my voice and seeing my face, you, your family, your loved ones, you are all doing well. Having some, well, not me, Scotty is having some technical issues as well. Internet issues, really. So she is not able to join us at the moment. Hopefully, as the stream progresses, she will be able to join us. For some strange reason, I feel like more in my voice than me, yes, and things. So I'm so going on that part. Yeah, man, audio check one. That's a better vibe. You see me? So yeah, man. I do some little testing and some little things. One extra piece of device. So more adding into some things and them something. So some little things. So we see what I got. Yeah, that not look bad so either. And things. So yeah, peace. Big up on yourself. We're there. As me say, Scotty, our internet has been down for the better part of the day. So I don't know. I know that there was some discovery of stolen copper wires by the security forces today. So I don't know if her service was disrupted as a result. She's in the stream. I think she uses her phone for data still, but she don't know what about internet like. You understand? So I don't know, but yeah. Hopefully she get to jump in one of them time. Peace, big up on yourself. For there, Saturday night. You understand what I say? Last night we attempted to have a call-in stream, but it never to work out that way. But we kind of, you know what I mean, get some things done and some people forward in. And let me take this opportunity to apologize to a few people, because I rewatched the stream today and I realized that I think King Irie and Lady Unstoppable, they were requesting the link, and I saw a comment on my name really too, because you know, said the link was for special people. No, it wasn't really. It's just that I know those folks as educators, and seeing that, you know, we were treating with that situation, seeing that the phone lines weren't up and running because of the echo on Scotty's end. We just decided to look, you know, it was easy to send the link to those people because I have the numbers. You understand? So it wasn't nothing personal or enough special people or nothing. You understand? So if anybody is of that view, that was never the case. You understand? We need to start set custom white balance in our studio, and the white balance, you know. And I think I saw my complexion stay in a real life, like, I don't know, but we see. Yeah, so yeah, so my apologies for that. So King Irie, Lady Unstoppable, and all the persons who wanted to join last night, it was nothing personal. I honestly didn't see the comments either. Me even see like people like Rosie and some other people I try notify me, but me really never see it. You understand? So my apologies. So I'm going to talk about some things where I go on a yard now, and some things where I go on abroad, because you know so Jamaicans will not fall about and they sit there. You see me, I say, so big up to the people. Hold on. And thing. Alright. Yeah, I'm just draw for me cell phone on a local level, yes, so. And people wanna share the stream for me to on a serious level. You know what I think? Sharing is caring. You understand? Yeah, man, give thanks. But not share over your sets. So I'm gonna do local housekeeping in an interim. But we're there. Don't nobody going away. I don't want to be impatient like that, you know. I don't know who grow now. You understand? I don't grow good. Boom. over upon Twitter over so. Over upon status this so. Yeah, I kind of run behind time to one them questions. So sorry about that, peeps. You know, look housekeeping thing and thing. Yeah, man. So yeah, peeps. Manners and respect, as I said there. All heap of things are going. Big things are going 2004. Well, 2022 still, but you know it go. Where we are again treating with another wave. Essentially the fifth wave of the COVID-19 outbreak. We also have to keep our eyes on the outbreak of monkeypox. I think Sweden or Switzerland recorded their first case. I think there is at least one case in the United States. There are a number of cases in Africa and something. So that is, man, I don't even know. Yes, and so we have to keep one eye upon that, like, while we still are treated with the COVID situation. Many people have the view that the COVID thing kind of passed and gone, but I would have said, sitting in this chair, looking at one of them two cameras, that the Easter festivities would invariably result in another spike, in another wave. And I mean, we don't always like when certain things always come to fruition, but I mean, it never take no rocket scientists to figure that out. You understand? And we are here, we are where we are. There are also emerging reports that more and more schools are reporting clusters among students and in some cases among teachers as well. So the Ministry of Education yesterday, I think, said that the mandatory mask wearing should resume in school. And I heard the Prime Minister somewhere along the line hinting that mandatory mask wearing that mandate will be implemented again across the island. So we'll talk about that in a few. But before I do that, let's talk about the COVID numbers for the past 24 hours. I haven't done this in a long time, that's for sure. So the thing that kind of, they're on a local level, but it has been spiking over the past week or so. Again, 393 new COVID-19 cases. So the Ministry of Health and Wellness says there were 393 new cases of COVID-19 on Friday. The positivity rate is now 28.8%. So the new cases have increased the overall case count in Jamaica since March of 2020 to 134,297. So 94 people have sought treatment in hospital, 2 of whom are critically ill, 1 person severely ill, and 19 are experiencing moderate symptoms of the disease. 75% of the new positive cases occurred in persons who are not vaccinated. 7 deaths, which occurred between April and September last year, and in January and May of this year, are now confirmed to be COVID-19 related. And I want to talk about that in a few. There are 148 recoveries, bringing the overall recovery from the disease to 85,927. Sometimes when we get these figures, we also need to analyze them for what they are, because sometimes the new cases of deaths are people who died all a year ago. Because watch this. 7 deaths which occurred. So 75% of the new cases, we said that already. 7 deaths which occurred between April and September of last year, and in January and May of this year have been added to the list. So cases up to January last year, I guess they are just finally formalizing cause of death for some people that was on the investigation over a year ago. So sometimes the numbers are a little bit, I don't even know, because that's a long time. You see me? So no, yeah, man. But as we speak, 393 new cases, and normally say when you have the official numbers being 393, probably 3,000 cases out in the street. Yeah, so I say in the wild. And so apparently we are entering, or we may be already. I am not able to clinically diagnose these things. I am not a epidemiologist, yeah, or a medical expert, but it would appear to me that we are now in the community spread phase of a 5th wave. I could be wrong, but the numbers would indicate such based on the experience that I would have had over the past 2 years analyzing and observing the situation. It would appear to me that we are now in a fifth wave and we are now at the community spread stage. Don't quote me on that. As I say, I am no medical expert. These are just my layman's view based on observation. So, yeah. Ah, boy. Mask mandate to return as COVID numbers climb, as I was saying earlier. So Prime Minister Andrew Holness has indicated that the government will be reintroducing a mask mandate as the island sees an uptick in COVID-19 cases, a month after this and other restrictions were fully lifted. So it is going to be a requirement shortly for all our citizens to return to wearing their masks. As you know, we are in the fifth wave. Here we go. Of the pandemic, and it will be a continuing feature of life going forward. That we will, for some time, be experiencing recurrent bouts of increased infections from this disease, which is called the endemic phase. Holness said as he ended, that's not important. Wear your masks, particularly if you are indoors, but wear your masks generally, particularly if you, okay. I don't think of your yard, like if you go business places like and something there. Maintain social distance, and social distance is what you would consider to be special awareness. Being aware of the people around you and the spaces you are in. Holness appealed. In Jamaica, we do not pay much attention to personal space. So everybody rubs up on everybody. But personal space is where you maintain a decent distance from the other person. Now on Thursday, the Ministry of Education and Youth mandated the immediate wearing of masks in schools in response to a surge in coronavirus infection rate. So the government had lifted the mask mandate on April 15th as infection numbers declined, a move which triggered criticism. Pre-testing requirements for overseas travelers to enter Jamaica had also been scrapped at that time. So yes, a lot of things will be said, a lot of things are being said and things. So I don't know. That is where we are. That is the situation currently. And the Prime Minister in his statement said we are now in the fifth wave. As I said, just my layman analysis basically stated that. And apparently we are in the community spread phase of the thing as well. So I don't know. Many of us became very relaxed and as I said, the festivities over the Easter period was like, it was crazy, man. It's like you release some cage animals who were caged for 2 years. You see? Good night, Christina. It's good to see you. Dwight, be impressive, Richie, all of the people in the building. Dre, Sabine, how are you? Haven't seen you in a minute, I think. Well, we haven't streamed in a minute still, so good as my fault. You understand? Empress Rose, big up yourself in a private figure. All of the people in the business. Magneto! Mask wearing, it's foolishness. From a man who wear one helmet and a mask, Magneto. I'm just kidding. You are entitled to that view. I'm certain that other people may not be of the same view as you. So it is a matter of perspective and personal belief with these things, I suppose. So, yeah. Scotty, on your internet. In a reach yet. No, let's continue. And so we'll continue to watch the developments. I have a sneaky suspicion that online classes may resume shortly. As I was saying last night to Scotty, is probably the only thing that is going to save that from happening, prevent that from happening, is the fact that examinations are commencing shortly across many schools, internal and external, so that will significantly reduce the number of students who need to be on the plant at any given time. Seeing that everybody know the exam, the exam timetable can be so set where exams are staggered and such. So I don't know. We'll see. Any of them can manage them online class now. That's the next thing. The fifth wave. Right now, what they are seeing. Well, Richie, I have to take bad things that joke there, right? It's set away. You understand? Because I say, man. And thing. Let me say that's, I'm not going to click on this right now. Oh, I never change it from last night, no? And I love that shot, I love that little screen, you know. It look professional like. You understand? But when I edit it and I couldn't see what come on tonight and thing. But I like it. I like it. You understand? Yeah man, it's a vibe. I like it. That one is nice. I reuse it more time. The great reset and pandemic going on. Yes, okay, yeah. So, I guess over there when I use that right now, because I know me alone there too. Yeah. Speaking about schools, you see, since the reopening of face-to-face classes, or the resumption, not reopening, the reopening of school for face-to-face classes or the resumption of face-to-face classes, a number of videos have been making the rounds on social media which depict our students behaving in less than appropriate ways. Some videos of a sexual nature, some videos of violent nature, some videos of students having verbal heated exchange with their teachers or with their peers. Some instances where blood has been drawn as people have been stabbed and cut and a child died and all. It is a situation where over the past two, even before the pandemic, you had situations where students, school-age children were being exposed to gangs and were being recruited actively by gang members in their communities and their immediate environs. And the 2-year period where they were home, supposedly attending classes online, many of them would have been exposed to gang activities again. Many of them would have become members of gangs, and going back to school, they have now seen it fit to take some of these new acquisition in terms of their gang membership and stuff into the schools, and it is causing problems in some places. One such place is the Hopewell High School in Hanover, I think. So police are now keeping a close watch on the Hopewell High School. When I watch what's going on in that part here. The Hanover police will be paying close attention to happenings at Hopewell High School following a recent altercation between students at that learning facility. With recent media reports highlighting several violent confrontations among students across the country, both in and out of school compounds, in and off school compounds, the clash among students at the Hopewell High School generated great interest within the parish, as such incidents were said to be unheard of in Hanover. Tabling a report at the May meeting of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, Superintendent of Police in charge of Hanover, Sharon Beeput, pointed out that all parties involved in the altercation at Hopewell High School have been identified and interviews have been done. The school, is being monitored. We would have identified all the parties that were involved in the conflict. Interviews were done with the parents and students. Interviews will be continuing with key individuals to curtail the situation. Also, there are some internal investigations being done in the school. We, the police, also have ongoing periodic checks at the school, she informed. Beeput's report was in reference to an altercation which took place on the school grounds a little over a week ago, where two groups of students were caught up in a physical confrontation, leading to minor injuries occurring, threats being issued between the groups, and classes suspended for a day at the institution with a population of over 1,100 students. So, altercation between two groups of students led to the school being closed down for one day. That is another day of learning loss, when we have 1 million before that, brother. But watch your maths now. I want to find out why that going on another party. Reports claim that one group of students who hail from Montego Bay St. James were seen spray painting the walls of the school with a known gang logo. While another group of students who are from Hanover objected to the defacing of the school's walls, as they should. This led to an argument between the two groups and a physical confrontation involving stone throwing and other weapons ensued. 3 students were said to have received injuries resulting from the fracas, with none of the injuries said to be life-threatening. Now, based on the threats being issued, there was a great amount of fear evident on the school compound, resulting in parents being called in to retrieve their children, and the police summoned to quell the altercation. Beeput emphasized that the school grounds will be monitored closely as investigations continue. So I'm here. I want you to point persons to World Economic Forum platform, the blueprint. No, sir. I can't point people to things that I don't know about, brother. I have to do my research and find out what that is. I can't point people to something I'm blind to. You understand? That no wise. So watch your mats. Good night, Empress Jen. How are you? See? One set of youths were observed spray painting the logo of a known gang on the walls of the school compound. Another set of students and the youths, them who do the spray painting apparently hails from Montego Bay or St. James. Another set of students who hail from Hanover, the parish where the school located, say no, that can't go on both here. And that lead to war in a family. And threats upon threats, you know, and students receiving minor injuries, you know, and all of these things, you know. The man, they must spray paint gang logo up on wall in high school, brother, and somebody talk to them and they bleed to war. These are the things that my colleagues as educators have to be dealing with and will continue to deal with and will be dealing with more often as we go forward. Unfortunate. That is the unfortunate reality. You know, make sense we try to pretty up the thing. You understand what I say? I saw the thing set. You know, make sense we try to go around the thing. These things are becoming commonplace. And the truth is that I know the first time these things happen, you know, but I suppose they are becoming more and more frequent as our students are becoming more emboldened and fearless. And some of them have the backing of some very powerful people, you understand, with crazy resources where can make things happen. So you can imagine that students and teachers alike in many of these institutions are cowering in fear because, I mean, we have to protect our life and lives, though. So some people not play that game there, but say, boy, yeah. I sincerely hope that the situation in Hopewell has been cauterized and that all possible follow-ups, the embers of those that existed, have been put out and there's nothing smoldering anywhere to ignite again in the future. The youths, yo, I think we need to take up, you know, just volunteering for going to some of them schools. I just got to talk to some of them youths. Because, I don't know, somebody have to do it. You understand? I probably need to add that to my itinerary going forward. You see? That is something I'm very, very willing to do. You understand? Sit down with the youths and reason with them. Because sometimes I just that them need. Sometimes nobody know they talk to them. Nobody now listen to them. Sometimes them a cry out for help and, you know, based on the fact that so much of them, it talk, boy, I don't know. I don't know, man. I know. But the youths them need some positive role models in them life. Enough of them youths and no father figure in them yard, in them home. Many of them are raised themselves or their mothers, the mothers are raised them. And big up to all of the single mothers who are doing the best that they can do in these unprecedented, trying, challenging times to raise productive members of the society. It cannot be easy. Many women have done it down the years and many women will continue to do it. But, man them, brother, on need for the youths them need on the road, boy. You understand what I say? The youths them need, you know. The youths them need we. See, not only your youth. The whole of the youth them need the whole of it. Because the truth is that there's too much negative influences around for them to jump on and become a part of. See, and positivity is not readily highlighted and readily accessible to the youths in many instances. And if them keep seeing the same thing and the same situations day in, day out, it is going to be very difficult for them not to get drawn in, because enough of the youth them not have the mental firmness there for know say, yo, you can't think for yourself, you know. Zane, the man them who father them youth, yeah. Father the youths them in general. We have to stand by the youth. If you're not willing to stand by a youth family, no bother with that something. Use a condom, man. Or get snipped or something, fam. We can't keep on create the youth them and produce the youths them and just leave them upon the women them. Seeing how much the mothers them can do. Seeing many of them are many of them are working so they can put food on the family, on the table and send the youths them go school. And they need some support. Again, we talk about the school situation. Most school, alright, let me put it this way. I doubt that there's a school in Jamaica, whether basic school, primary school, prep school, high school, are at the tertiary level where there are more male teachers than female teachers. I would be very surprised to learn that there's a school in operation in this country presently that have more males than females on staff. So the youth them not have no male figure in them life, or to mind a positive male figure. And when them go school, the number in terms of male teachers have been dwindling and declining significantly down the years. So it fall back on the empress them. How much them can take? How much the ladies them can do? At home, in schools, home, I don't know. Ah, boy. Same thing again. Dinner share, dumpling and mackerel. Me give thanks. Something on the pot still. The work not easy. Tomorrow we gone back still, because the youth them off it. And the same thing again. Judge, I'm going to have to do sing, you know. I'm going to have to do sing. Or try sing. You know, we don't really sing well. You understand? But we sing well. You see what I say? Maybe a mentoring program could help. Maybe. But it's something that I'm more than willing to do. I would be happy to, from time to time, you know what I mean, volunteer myself, my time, to spend a few hours with some youths, run on one part. You understand? Run off some one problematic class in some schools to some teacher too. I mean, we are not Superman, you know, but we've been doing this a long time. We know if we, you know what I mean, reach to the youths and connect to the youths them with the youths them. You understand? And then when them see my face, them know say a business will come about. You know, but we're willing to meet the youths them with them there. You understand what I mean? So give them a listening ear, give them some encouraging, uplifting, motivating words, and make them know say, yo, there are many different routes, man. You understand? The right routes them sometimes boring and not the flash and the hype. But the right route can be the wrong route. You understand? So, I don't know, but the country is crying, from the home to the schools to all about, is crying out for male figures. Positive, productive male figures. Strong male figures. You understand what I say? Like, we are lacking on that right across the nation, and some of the man them where fit that description there, I forgot to start double up and triple up them efforts to try rescue a few youths. You understand? And remember, say, you don't have to be your youth biologically, but every youth in the country are our youths. You see me the pan? We have to do something. Seeing, getting up every day, like, I mean, what I'm doing, or talking, it don't really help neither, because the truth is that the youths them will need to hear the words them, and the youths them, and the people them watch my channel, because my channel don't provide them with the fodder that they need. You understand? And the fuel that they need to keep for them flames burning. You know, them young and them in the hype, them in the gossip and the sus, so them over some other places. You understand? So the truth is that me talking here so it won't even benefit the youths them, because most of them are really dead aside. Are really big working class people come over the side of the fence. Some bright people, you know what I mean? Because, you know, when we got them people, they will like, and them like, we like. So, I don't know. So, we just have to just probably go in the streets to meet the youths them sometimes, yeah, man. So, I mean, if there's any educators out there where you know you have some youths in the place that where you need somebody for rap with, you understand, build a band with, you link me up. I know how to go on. You understand? We saw what we can do. Father Liebert, big up yourself. Because I know the power that just one person giving a listening ear can do to a youth life and him psyche and him outlook and him vision. You understand? Somebody showing a little love and a little care. I know how transformative that can be. And many of the youths them lack it. Sometimes we see the youths them and we jump out. We see the youths them do some things and we jump and criticize them. The truth is that them are cry out for help sometimes, man. So whilst it is easy to criticize and berate and you know what I mean, talk them down and things, sometimes them just need an encouraging word, you know what I mean, a pat on the back. Somebody to listen to them, somebody to tell them no. You see me? So we have to go as best as we can raise some other youths too. You understand? Because it's rough out there. And if we ignore the youths and neglect them now, we could have to go shoot some of them too. And we don't want to do that. You see? So, or some of them are going to shoot with. You understand? Set away. The man, them carry them gang business in a school wall. The man, them not even rate them school like that. You understand what I'm saying? I know. So I'm put on back my glasses. There's a particular topic that just flashed up, but that's something that I want to discuss with Scotty. And that is the situation surrounding the proposed JTC bill, Jamaica Teaching Council bill, and the discussion surrounding that and the proposals and the shake-up that will come and all of them something there. And, yeah. So I think hopefully forward on tonight. If not, me leave it for the next time I stream. And thing. Tomorrow Sunday, then Monday Labor Day. No, nah, keep Monday. I could just jump on one extreme thing. I'm just in a local streaming vibe. The system is creating a violent generation. The government and corporate society is allowing. I don't know how the government jumping at this still in a family. A parents do it, brother. A family do it. Like, it is easy to say the government sometimes. The government don't raise up with them, brother. And me and you raise up with them, you know. You understand? How much the government can really do? Whether PNP government or JLP government down there, as it relates to the home situation. Like, I could be real about the thing and stop point fingers. We have too much baby mother and baby father. And way too few parents. You understand? Too many baby mothers and baby fathers, man. We want some parents, fam. You see me? Discipline, socialization starts at home. The first vehicle of socialization is the family, the home. You understand? I don't necessarily think the government should take blame for that. Are they doing enough to hold baby mothers and baby fathers accountable? Probably we can talk about that. Zane, but to say the government is to blame for youths being violent, I don't think so. You understand? We blame the government for everything sometimes. And so, that's not really right. If them forget blame, then get blame. But there are some instances where we just government. What we are do as people? What are we doing as fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and grandparents? What are we doing? What have we been doing? What do we plan to do? Sit down and blame the government? So it's always easy to say government, bro. The system breakdown more. But where the system start from? That may I ask. Where the system start from? As it relates to instilling values and morals and discipline. Where it starts? It doesn't start with the government. It starts in the home. You understand? Many of us are weed up on social media video the youth them across beer bad with and skin with teeth. You understand? A fun and enjoyment. Some little baby I tell some all big people. All them one. I see video with little boy I tell him father figure S him mother. So it's basically I'm here then I look on me I tell me figure S me Scarlett. And entertainment. See? Youth, young children are fight and instead of adults get involved and break it up, them are egg them on. You understand what I'm saying? We need to take some responsibility, man. Stop blame government for everything. Government is a problem in many regards, yes, but in this case, parents first. Family members first. You see it? Yeah, man. That happen which one? Brother, why do I ever do it? But we have a tendency and I've spoken about this many times. We blame everybody. It's just like the gun situation coming into the country. So we blame the government. So fine, the borders are porous. I mean, not even know me reach around that, but me just make a point. Not proving, making a point. Our borders are porous and leaking like a sieve, yes? Our 140 informal points of entry and the points of entry them very porous and permeable. See? But we blame the United States authority because we say we cousin and we brother and we uncle and sometimes we sister and we auntie and them them buy the gun them send come here. But you hear the government this and then you know your brother and sister we are buy. You tell your brother and sister send off buy no more gun send come here. When your brother and sister buy the gun them send come here and you know, do you call the police and tell the police that your brother and sister send the gun them come here? When you know say your brother and sister kill some man round so you call the police and tell them say your brother and sister kill some man round so. No, you sit down there until the man family where your brother and sister kill round so come kill back you or your family. We know the people that we are the foolishness in the country. We know the man them we are buy a gun and send come here. We know the man them we are order contract it round here so. And we not do nothing about it, but we get up and we blame the government. And we know the problem. We cuss the police every day, so them not do nothing, and we not do nothing to support the police. We prefer to impede the police doing their jobs and getting at them way and all of these things instead of helping them. So enough of we are talking about crime, this and crime that we have opportunities to help in the crime fight, but we not do it because our family and our brethren them involved. You see, we reach a stage and we start defend criminals and criminality. Man out here are defend scammers, you know, man. I work and a bad mind people, bad mind and brother, most of the guns them, the recent guns them in the last 10 years I saw coming to the country. A lot of scamming fund the purchase of the guns them we are kill off people, brother, but we are look here. You see, I would have seen for going to bed tonight, you know, because I don't even want to grow another party, you know. I keep a nice vibe and energy tonight. I just go and talk about some things. I need to grow on this, so we need to take some responsibility. That's all I have to say. We complain about everything and what we are doing. And we can do things, you know, but we not do nothing. You understand? We know some people we can shove out, but we not shove them out. Zine, and then them same people that come around and kill somebody for we. But then we did sit down. When we couldn't shoot them out, I want to shoot them out. You see it? Yeah, man. So make we put the blame squarely where it for go. We are our own biggest problem. Government are foolishness most of the time too. We not say no. Because nobody not beat them like teach them. You understand? Because them are our friend. We not business with the guy them. Zine, but the truth is that we need to take some responsibility too. The government need to do better, but we also as citizens, law-abiding, well-thinking Jamaican citizens, need to do better. You understand what I'm saying? And stop cast blame everywhere except the place where you go, man. Call out the right people then. You see? Yeah, man. I feel like I want some music look up on background. And I just calm me down look like. Cause I say, right now, that tune I play, I don't even know if it's up there. I hope you play. I will play some more tune look up. This good as too loud. Let me get one tune there. I'm not tune, it's just looking to. But good piece, we just a mess around. You understand what I say? But we need to take responsibility. Feeding, you understand? Yeah, listen look at music too. And rap look a bit like. You understand? So, make a move on now. I try to monitor comment set speed in the comment section, but example, we need to give women option to decide on reproduction. The day after pill need to be more accessible. Yeah man, call out the parents empty. But that's the truth, we can't grow on it. Music would have too loud. The music too loud down the years like. Alright, make it tone it down. So, John Joel Joseph, the former Haitian cabinet minister who sought refuge in Jamaica, who was arrested, and an extradition order was issued for him by the United States authorities. He was trying to get his family to be given asylum in Jamaica. That will not happen. They will be deported. He will be extradited. He waived his right to a trial and signed off for his extradition. So, but I suppose he was hoping that his family would remain in Jamaica, but it didn't work out the way they like. You understand? I'm not telling me not going Jamaica, no problem. But I said Jamaica, no problem. Jamaica, many problem, bro. You understand? There's a AC there. The no one really feel like a dry bread. What me did that like look wild when I start. So family a former Haitian senator, he's cabinet minister, he was a senator. Family a former Haitian senator to be deported. So the wife and sons of former Haitian senator Joseph Joel John, an alleged accomplice in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, are to be deported. So the removal order was issued by the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember. However, before issuing the order, the foreigners, Edmund, 38, and their sons, Trofen Hoyer, 17, and a 9-year-old boy were admonished and discharged on illegal entry charges by senior parish judge Lorian Cole Montague. The Haitians were arrested in January and charged after they were found in St. Elizabeth. However, while they were in custody, the ex-senator consented to a U.S. extradition request, which was affected this month. The remaining family members, through their lawyer Donahue Martin, had applied for a refugee status, but it was denied. However, Martin, on the last court appearance in April, had informed the court that he was going to appeal the refusal. But the last day in court, I think, as I said, Thursday, I wasn't not sure, he essentially told the court that he was abandoning the appeal as the matter would not have been heard before this court date. He, however, asked the court to admonish and discharge the charge against his clients, especially since they would have spent 4 months in custody. The judge complied. So the 59-year-old alleged murder accomplice is listed among 5 fugitives who were wanted in connection with the president's assassination. He is accused of renting 4 vehicles that were used by the Colombian assassins on the night of the deadly attack. Moïse was killed at his private residence on July 7, 2021. And these things. So, yeah. I think he was formally charged with murder sometime in the week as well. So, I know. Businessman Michael Issa to return to court on June 1. So the trial of businessman Michael Issa, who is charged with resisting arrest and the use of indecent language, started in the St. James Parish Court on Monday. On Monday, with Detective Michael Chisholm giving evidence. However, the desire of the prosecution to have the contentious station there brought in as evidence resulted in the case being adjourned until June 1, 2022. When the case was called up, it was stood down for 2 in the afternoon as a result of the late disclosure of a statement to Issa's attorney Michael Hemmings. The alleged copy of the statement served is in relation to the negligent loss of Issa's licensed firearm. Hemmings had requested the original statement, which led to the delay. However, when the case finally got underway in the afternoon, Detective Chisholm outlined a dramatic sequence of events that led to the charges of indecent language, abusive language, and resisting arrest being laid against Issa. According to Detective Chisholm, a distraught Issa showed up at the Freeport station on December 17 at 2 p.m. to report his firearm missing, which led to the immediate commencement of an investigation. On December 19, Issa contacted Detective Chisholm by way of a phone text message to inform him that the weapon was found. Issa was told to take the weapon in for testing at the government lab. The police reportedly did not hear from Issa again despite several messages left. When Issa was finally reached, he allegedly told Detective Chisholm that he should speak to Gordon Brown, his attorney, personal friend and advisor concerning anything having to do with the firearm. Detective Chisholm told the court that on January 13, 2022, Issa and his lawyer showed up at the police station for reasons unrelated to the firearm. The men were confronted and Brown allegedly told Issa in the presence of Detective Chisholm and another police that the police cannot lock him up, and hurriedly walked away when an alarm was made by Detective Chisholm. The police caught up with the men, at which point Issa reportedly heard expletives and other abusive languages, and made mention of having Detective Chisholm transferred to another parish. How you know, say? I saw them on the real deep. Yo! Let me continue. Yes, the police, we said that already. Issa was charged with 3 offenses and the negligent loss of a firearm. Brown was also warned for prosecution in relation to perverting the course of justice, whilst the police performed their duty. The firearm was taken, sealed, labeled, and sent to the lab for testing. Following a deliberation between the prosecution and Hemmings over the prosecution's request for a station diary to be admitted in evidence, presiding judge Keisha Grant set the new trial continuation date. Hemmings had argued that the diary, which contained a log of the reported missing firearm, has to do with a charge that was dismissed, and therefore the court is sitting to deal with the 3 other charges against Issa. The Crown is at liberty to call witnesses, tender exhibits as it pleases. The court cannot feather lawfully what the Crown decides to in terms of witnesses they call and the exhibits they tender, stated Grant, who added in terms of the relevance of this document, which has been raised by both of you, I see some relevance in it. Now, Mr. Issa, this matter continues on the 1st day of June this year. Your bail is extended. Investigating Officer Detective Sergeant Chisholm, you are bound over to return to court with the relevant station diary on the 1st of June, stated Grant, who also subpoenaed any other witnesses to attend court. Issa was arrested and charged with the negligent loss of firearm, resisting arrest, abusive language, and indecent language when he went to the police station hours after his stepson was allegedly abducted and killed to report his licensed firearm missing. The gun, which was said to have gone missing on December 17, 2021, and is unrelated to the child's death, was later found, and the related charges dismissed. Now, Gabriel, who was autistic, was found with his throat slashed and his body slumped on the back seat of his mother's car shortly after she told police Short later, she told police assailants dragged her from her car and drove away with her child in it. The incident allegedly took place on the Tucker Main Road in St. James. The car was found on Oak Hill Avenue in Fairfield Estates. There have been no arrests in that case and no suspects named. I'm going to put on a little lip gloss, you see? Eh. Yes, people. So we are watching and see. We are waiting and see. Yo. I say, a surname is a hell of a thing, you know. All me know like when you're Williams, then me not a surname. Then my surname no can't wait about it. Only time my surname carry weight is when a fat man got it. Like me. I got so much things to say right now, but I won't say it. You understand? Teacher is the queen. You know say our internet now to function right, bro. So, and that a go on. She can't join right here now. Unfortunately. So hopefully as the stream progresses, she's able to, well, our internet comes up and she's able to, you know what I mean, join anything. Fitzroy, big up yourself, you know. Yes, Rasta. As I said, I won't say nothing. Let's see how it unfolds and something. As it relates to the, Gabriel, his case is still, I don't know, where it's at, I guess. Yeah. No, so soldier accused of failing to hand over firearm granted bail. Well, remember that one? Well, I guess we talk about it almost every week, so like we don't remember it, don't. Jamaica Defense Force Sergeant Theophilus Tracy, who allegedly failed to hand over his firearm in a murder investigation, was granted bail. I think Thursday or yesterday again, I don't remember. He was offered bail in the sum of $300,000 with sureties for failing to hand over his gun. The bail application was made by Queen's Counsel Peter Champagny, and Tracy is to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on July 28. Tracy, 43 years old, is also facing a murder charge in connection with the fatal shooting of a woman in February, and is to return to court on Thursday in relation to that charge. He was taken into custody on February 26th, shortly after a woman was found dead in Tracy's motor car on Caledonia Avenue in St. Andrew. The body was later identified as Osheen Lawrence. Tracy had allegedly told investigators that he could not hand over his firearm for ballistic testing because it was stolen. A bail application will be made in the murder case on Thursday. Yo, Jamaica, you know, all these are keepers them saying up on social media, you know. We spoke about this case last Saturday night. St. Anne teacher accused of sexually assaulting student released on bond. So the St. Anne-based teacher who was taken into custody 3 weeks ago following allegations that he sexually assaulted one of his students has been released on bond. The 24-year-old teacher was offered bail in the sum of $400,000 when he appeared before the St. Anne's Bay Parish Court on Thursday. As condition of his bail, he was ordered not to be seen in Ocherius and to report to the St. Anne police once per week. He is to return to court on May 29 to answer charges of buggery, indecent assault, and grievous sexual assault. The teacher was arrested on May 5th following investigations into criminal complaint filed by a 15-year-old student. Investigators are probing whether other students have complained of being assaulted by the teacher. Jaja. Teacher, Miss Scotty, you both make a great tea. Yeah, your father appeared, Miss Artie, you know, but she don't know internet fam. You understand? So, I don't know. Good night, Lady Bowen. How are you? It's good to see you. And things. So, yeah. Boy, may I tell you. Trial for a man linked to church ritual killing to be set in October. So Andre Ruddock, who is accused of cutting a woman's throat during a church ritual in St. James last year, will know his trial date in October. Ruddock was arrested and charged following the incident at the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries, which was led by the now deceased Kevin Smith last October. The accused, who appeared remotely in the home circuit court, I think yesterday, had been evaluated by a forensic psychologist. Almost a forensic pathologist, but he's, he's a forensic psychologist. Outstanding documents such as post-mortem report and a ballistic certificate were received in court by the prosecution. A plea and case management has been set for October 6th. Now, Justice Vivian Graham Allen also made an order for the indictment to be filed and disclosure should be made by July 1st. Ruddock is represented by senior attorney Anthony Williams and Venice Brown. So the post-mortem and ballistic certificate should also be disclosed on or before July 1. And Ruddock, oh, what's that already? Yeah, there's something there. So, yeah, man, Gabriel, as we just talked about little Gabriel just now, who died unfortunately. We're talking about Archangel Gabriel now, Andre Ruddock. That is the title he was given before he slashed the woman's throat. Strange, this feeling I'm feeling. Oh, your love we will always believe in. Though they may think my faith is in vain. Till Shiloh we chant Rastafari's name. Yo, you hear the audio interface and nice. You make all me we can sing sound like me can sing look well. I don't see what I go on. Talk truth. Talk truth. No. Man sentenced to 13 years for a murder of US citizen. So, Sonnyman Walker, the man accused of killing an American in March of 2020, was sentenced to 13 years in prison when he appeared in the St. James Circuit Court on Friday, May 20. Walker, who is also known as Shortman, had been named as the main suspect in the year-old murder case of 65-year-old Theodore Walling, who was found dead in Montego Bay, St. James in March of 2020. He had been on the run for more than a year, but was nabbed on May 14, 2021 in Rocky Point, Clarendon, while attempting to flee to Haiti by boat. Prior to that, the police had featured him on the Jamaica Constabulary's Force Wanted Wednesday's campaign. After his capture, Walker was formally charged with murder and robbery with aggravation. However, he pleaded guilty to the lesser charges of manslaughter. We soon get to the manslaughter situation, and simple larceny. Because I said, I need to retain the services of a lawyer. And not because I get in trouble or plan to get in trouble. I am willing to retain the services of a lawyer who would be able to explain some legal stuff when some of these issues come up that I don't understand, and I think my viewers would want to get some legal perspective on. Yeah. So if any good lawyer out there who I don't have to sell my kidney for retain like when I'm serious, I'm serious about it, because like I like to know. Like my geography teacher in high school once told me that the greatest asset in life is knowing, is to know. I like to learn. And because I treat with these things on a regular basis, like if I learn it, then I know it. I can address it better. Because some things kind of throw me on sometimes. As a matter, we soon come to one thing. You understand? Yeah, man. So, and then if there's a member of the teaching family who is a lawyer and want to, give up their services to the movement, you understand? We'll accept that too. You understand? We make sure you say your toll pay and gas in your vehicle and them look at things like, you understand? Some champagne upon your wine rack and all of these things. It don't hurt, everybody. Yeah, Jaja. I don't even know, yeah. So, watch it right now. So prior to that, alright. So after his capture, Walker was listen to the charges then when they charged first. You know. He was formally charged with murder and robbery with aggravation. However, he pleaded guilty to the lesser charges of manslaughter and the simple larceny. Walker has now been sentenced to 12 years on the charge of manslaughter and 1 year for the charge of simple larceny. The sentences will run concurrently. Not a village lawyer. Following the sentencing, Deputy Superintendent of Police Dwayne Dixon, who is in charge of the Area 1 Major Investigation Division, gave commendations to his team and the supporting force experts who helped to build a strong case. Yeah, for 12 years. Our team at Area 1 MID pursued every line of investigation relentlessly, he said. We also received tremendous support from the St. James Division and the Technical Services Division. I want to make special mention of Detective Corporal Logan Thomas from the Criminal Records Office, whose expertise in the area of latent print examination was a key factor in the case. Yes, Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan, I think Ricky Tan is the villain in a Rush Hour 2? Ricky Tan. I think so. I don't know. I've just said the name that just come to my mind, but I think so. Where be Angela? No. Where be Angela talk about? If where be Angela talk about youths becoming violent and them something there. She's saying the government is very much a part of the problem. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, so Ricky Tan man. If I rush over I think a Ricky Tan in name and like Ricky Chang, Ricky Tan man. You know what I mean? Alright, never mind. That's some Ricky business. Yeah. So we are talking about monster, and that is why I said it would be nice to have somebody with legal expertise, you know what I mean, at my disposal for kind of, you know what I mean, edify me as it relates to certain things. Because I'm a high school teacher of geography. I have never done law. You understand? I am learning things as I go along, but I'm no legal expert. So when I come across some case sometimes, there are some questions that I would like to ask. You understand? For example, so brother was charged with murder and what was the next charge there? Robbery with aggravation. You understand? And he pleaded guilty, not to murder, but to manslaughter, and not robbery with aggravation, but simple larceny. And him get 12 years. Well, 13 years. But at 12 because they are running concurrently. You understand? And things. So, yeah. Yes, bogle, but this is not law. And as Renita Adams says, the law is the law. Yeah, man, we know. I never said the stars in Rush Hour are Chris Tucker and Jackie Chang. I know that. I said the villain, as in the bad man. I think a Ricky Tan in name. You understand? But I know Jackie Chang and Chris Tucker run off the thing, man. I know that part there. Gun lyrics need to be banned. What you think about that teach? What I'll say is that I am of the view that the music influences some youths in some instances to a very great degree. And adults too. Like, seriously. But to say put a ban on gun lyrics. I have spoken about this before, you know, but as you ask me a question, I know I think about it. Put a ban on gun lyrics. Put it this way. All music that are not uplifting, are not positive, and have the potential to encourage deviance and violence should not be in public rotation. So, I suppose that should answer your question. Yeah. Right. Speaking about manslaughter, that's what I'm telling you, we need a lie about it. Andre Bromfield pleads guilty to manslaughter and shooting death of Shantell White. A former Manchester delivery supervisor who shot and killed a 24-year-old woman he said disrespected him after allowing another man to kiss her has pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Andre Bromfield entered the plea when he appeared before the Manchester Circuit Court on Monday, May 16th. He was initially charged with murder, just like Sonnyman, following the incident at the Mastermax supermarket in the parish 2 years ago. Now, sentencing is set for Tuesday, May 31. He has not been sentenced, as I said. He just pleaded guilty to manslaughter. It is reported that on December 31st, 2019, Shantell White, who was employed at the supermarket as an inventory clerk, along with Bromfield and others, were in the lunchroom when she was greeted by another male colleague who kissed her on the cheek. Yes, Rasta Judge. Following a statement reportedly made by White that the kiss should have been on her lips, Bromfield, in a bout of rage, reportedly got up from his chair, pulled his licensed firearm from his waist, and shot the woman. He then ran from the room. White sustained a cranial cerebral injury from multiple gunshot wounds to the face, according to medical records submitted in court. Now, Andre, who surrendered to the police on January 1st, 2020, and was subsequently charged with 1 count of illegal possession of firearm and 1 count of murder, pleaded not guilty to both counts. The court later reduced the murder charge to manslaughter after Bromfield indicated in his caution statement that he was provoked by White. I take up this girl and give her everything. Build her all 2-bedroom house. Pay off her credit card. And I realize that she have another man. I say this youth a kiss her up. And I talk to her. And she diss me up. I just snap. Yo, hear me now, quick cook. Tell me how the thing look from Mario Tough. Say yes, teacher, Ricky Tan. What's his name? I don't know, man. I need to set this the camera then can switch automatically by themselves. You know, we get run to that one at the end time. We don't get run to it. Yeah, me now quick cook. The thing now look good. Now, as I've always said, the court of law and the court of public opinion are 2 different things. You understand? Like, cases that we think are open and shut cases sometimes ain't so. And cases that we think say, yo, I got rough, become open and shut. Like, Jaja. So the court technically agreed based on my assessment, and again, hence we need counsel. You understand? We need legal advice. Based on my assessment, I could be wrong. The court is basically agreeing with Bromfield that he was provoked. Hence, they accepted or they reduced the charges from murder to manslaughter. So apparently the girl telling him that, saying that the kiss should be on her lips instead of on her cheek and was provocation. Apparently. So much so that Andre felt it fit for pull him licensed firearm and shoot the girl in her face and head. Like, recording on camera. And then he pleaded guilty to manslaughter, not murder. And as such, he is entitled to some sentencing reduction at this court because he pleaded guilty. So it would be interesting to see what the sentencing will be come May 31st and what the judge will be thinking. I know there has been a lot of discussion and conversation around this story from it happened till the recent development of the guilty plea for manslaughter. You know, some people are saying, yo, the girl this and the girl that. Some people are, yo, look here. I always say this. And I guess it's easy to talk still when you're in a situation. But as a man, when you take up a woman and you invest time and money in her, it's not a bank. And I like you can withdraw back after you spend enough of them. So when you spend the money, G, no say, the bank can be bankrupt and you lose your investment like that. I just say things so. Say if you're not willing to lose your investment, now invest. You see? Despite the fact that the girl said what she said this and apparently, and there's an next side of the story. Apparently Mr. Andre was a married man, and he left his matrimonial home for Shantell. I don't know. I'm not really get involved in certain things. You see? Auntie. And next thing, as a bigger man, like, watch how you take up a younger girl, like much younger than you, because I always tell you this, the honeymoon they not last forever. I mean, some do, but generally speaking, the Empress, them brother, them want them freedom and them want to do them thing, and you understand, you sometimes was a stepping stone. And look here, it real rough like, but we have to learn for living it. You understand? Mr. Bramfield now, film life mash up. Him good as get reduction in his sentence because he plead guilty. Although that is still up, well, we'll see. Because I don't even know the sentencing guideline of it ever made. I don't know. This is so wrong on so many different levels. You understand? We should have never discussed that case. Yeah? We should have never discussed a man with a murder charge with recorded on CCTV, pleaded not guilty because he said he was provoked, and now him a manslaughter charge him depot. You understand? There are many things wrong from the beginning with this. So we don't even get into them and react. Because the young lady have her family, the youth have his family. I'm not even interested in that part of it. I'm interested in the legal part of the thing. Like, how we reach from murder to manslaughter around that part. Yeah. So I want somebody with a legal expertise to explain to me why the court would have accepted that position and reduce the sentence, not the sentence, the charge from one of murder and illegal possession of firearm to manslaughter. Interesting. Speaking about, alright, so watch it now. So Andre pleaded guilty to manslaughter. Some people plead guilty to another part, but then plead guilty to murder and they get life like. You understand? I did this video today, but I think it's something that we need to discuss. Murder premeditated to Empress Jen. But I know, yeah, man. I know. Yes, indigenous brother, many loopholes in the law. You understand? If you get the right law, you know if it, maneuver. So they make a major error there. So, boy, I don't know no warrior star. Me I tell her, I say, when me breathe the thing and me I look on the thing, me I say, Jaja. But you see, because we didn't go to law school, and we don't know anything like that. I don't know if it's a plea deal per se in Romario, because you are going. He pleaded not guilty to murder and illegal possession. And it says the court, listen to this, because probably I may interpret it wrong. Let me find it back. Bromfield, who surrendered to the police on January 1, 2020, and was subsequently charged with 1 count of illegal possession of firearm and 1 count of murder, pleaded not guilty to both counts. The court later reduced the murder charge to manslaughter after Bromfield indicated in his caution statement that he was provoked by White. So that don't sound like it's a plea deal. That sounds like the court reduced the charges from murder to manslaughter. Again, I could be wrong. Based on the wording of the article, it would suggest to me that this was a decision made by the court to reduce and not necessarily in a plea deal situation. Again, I could be wrong. Excuse me. As I said, the AC thing kind of gave me away sometime. And things. So yeah. Crime of passion. That should really be an open closed case because that is classified as premeditated murder. Let's see what the sentencing goes. As I said, I would really like somebody to explain to me why we are where we are with this case and things. I don't know. Now, as I said, I did this video today. Accused mastermind in Roger Chang murder remanded. So, 6 people were arrested. 5 have been sentenced because they pleaded guilty. The alleged mastermind has not been sentenced as yet. He is still in front of the courts. So, the video that I did was from a different angle to this article. So, let's share this article now. Interesting. The alleged rob-returned-murder plot mastermind, whose girlfriend and uncle were convicted in the same scheme for the murder of businessman Roger Chang, is to return to the St. Mary's Circuit Court on July 14th. Yeah? The accused, Gavin Hurd, who hails from Kingston, has been remanded on charges of murder, illegal possession of firearm, and robbery with aggravation. He is among 6 persons. Well, you know, some people got charged me and said, Teach, you can't be persons, it have to be people. It's not me write the article, but I'll read it properly. He is among 6 people implicated in the deadly scheme, 5 of whom have pleaded guilty and were sentenced by Justice Stephanie Jackson Hazley. However, he is yet to be arraigned. Hurd's girlfriend, Kadisha Mackenzie, an exotic dancer, and his uncle, Seabert Dugan, an auto repairman, who both pleaded guilty to murder, were sentenced to life in prison and will both have to serve more than 20 years before the possibility of parole. So they pleaded guilty to murder, not manslaughter. Yeah? Wish I would. They were sentenced by, I said that already. After they entered, so they pleaded guilty between April 7th and May 20. Mackenzie pleaded guilty to the capital offense in the St. Mary Home Circuit Court and was ordered to serve 22 years and 6 months before being eligible for parole, while Dugan pleaded guilty to murder in the Home Circuit Court and was ordered to serve 24 years and 6 months before being eligible for parole. Mackenzie was also sentenced to 12 months each on charges of acquiring criminal property and illegal possession of firearm, 13 years for robbery with aggravation, and 2.5 years for unauthorized access to computer data. However, those sentences are to run simultaneously with the life sentence, or basically concurrently. Dugan was also sentenced to 13 years and 6 months for illegal possession of firearm, and 13 years for robbery with aggravation after pleading guilty to both charges. His sentences will also run concurrently to the life sentence. Three other conspirators, Ludlow Cousins, Jamar Jackson, and Derek Reed, who were minors at the time of the murder, also pleaded guilty in the St. Mary Home Circuit Court. Cousins was sentenced to 8 years and 2 months for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, and 8 years and 10 months for robbery with aggravation. Jackson was handed 8 years and 4 months for robbery with aggravation and 7 years and 9 months for illegal possession of firearm, while Reed was slapped with 9 years and 11 months respectively for illegal possession of firearm and robbery with aggravation, 4 years and 11 months for unauthorized access to computer data, and 7 years and 11 months for acquiring criminal property. The sentences for all three convicts will also run concurrently, hence they will only serve the longest of all the sentences. The three minors, according to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, they were involved in the robbery and such, but when it was said that Mr. Chang should be killed, they objected and they left the location. So that is why their sentences are not as heavy as Dugan and Khadijah. Zane? So shall we? Chang, 62, went missing in March of 2020 and was found dead the following day on a beach in Dover, St. Mary with multiple stab wounds to his torso. The court heard that Chang and the then 25-year-old exotic dancer met on Tinder, a dating app, and subsequently met on several occasions. On the day he went missing, Chang had traveled with Mackenzie to a river in Enfield, St. Mary, for a date. At some point before his trip, a plan was hatched to rob him. The court heard that while Chang was at the river with Mackenzie, he was held up and robbed by the three then minors, one of whom was armed with a firearm. During the robbery, the other two male accused happened on the scene, and a decision was made to kill Chang because he had seen their faces. However, the court heard that Jackson, Reed, and Cousins objected and left after they had robbed Chang of his debit card and had withdrew $100,000 and shared it up among themselves. Chang was also robbed of his car and the cell phone. Mackenzie, Dugan, and Heard then allegedly transported Chang to the beach where he was murdered. It is alleged that both men did the stabbing. Now, Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn commended the St. Mary Criminal Investigation Branch for the investigation. Llewellyn said that the investigators had collected DNA samples of the female from a mask that was found at the murder scene, and the DNA sample for Dugan was also found in Chang's car. The DPP said the DNA evidence, coupled with the caution statements from all 5 convicts, had created a strong case for the prosecution. As such, she was able to quickly marshal the case to a speedy conclusion, after the prosecutor and the parish court had told her about the evidence and had sought her guidance, and she, in return, placed the matter in the High Court via a nolle prosecute and had mature discussions with the defense lawyers. So basically, mature discussion would then suggest that, discussions were had as it relates to sentencing because people are plead guilty and them something. Yep. 100 grand, one cell phone and one car. I think it's a Suzuki Swift. You understand? So mama lower the man, I said Mary, and make she and her boyfriend and her uncle kill the man. Because, boy, I tell you, it really rough, Really rough, Rough world we live, Did not know that Tinder was even in Jamaica. Isn't it an online thing? So I suppose Jamaicans have access to it. But I understand what you said, Tamu. I guess you never know that Jamaicans actually were able to use it. I may not even know neither. Them gone with the go-go. As I said, the title of the video, Go-Go Goes to Prison. That was done deliberately. Crazy is more like it. Boy, I tell you, all of that for a Swift. Well, let me get a Swift trial. I suppose. I don't know. Judge angered as complainants shun assault cases. So basically what I go on run some part, run some place. It's like man them not a beat up the woman them, and when the woman them got caught, the woman them tell the judge so they not about to proceed because sometimes they feel sorry for the man, sometimes the man them boss from crocodile tears, sometimes they make up and then nobody want them boo. God jail like, you understand? Concerned about the number of female complainants requesting to have assault charges dropped against their aggressors, Senior Parish Judge Lorian Montague Cole Montague stressed that she will not dispose of the matters at their request as it sends the wrong message to the public. Her comments came on Wednesday after the girlfriend of Gerald Bowen, who is charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, asked that the matter be discontinued as she wished not to proceed further. The woman is a complainant in the matter. Too many of these matters coming before the courts where serious allegations are put of a man thumping down woman and beat up woman all over the place. I am not treating light of it. As a judge, as a citizen, I am concerned when I see these things. I hear what you say, ma'am, but this wrong that was alleged, this wrong that was alleged is so wrong that it is no longer you and him, but it is the state and him, the queen and him, and I am the queen, the judge indicated. Now, it was reported that sometime in April, I could as April 1, All Fool's Day, like, the complainant was walking along Norbrook Road in St. Andrew when she saw Bowen. An argument ensued between them when Bowen hit the complainant on the side of her face, causing pain and swelling. Bowen has pleaded not guilty. There must be accountability. I am not going to sit in a court every day and have these types of matters come and waste the time, Cole Montague added. Bowen admitted to being before the courts on a previous occasion for a similar charge. The man is a habitual offender, but said that the matter was disposed of. You are here now for thumping down a lady, allegedly. You see why we can't let these things fly? This is how systems turn a mockery of. This might be somebody in need of help, the senior judge stated. So the prosecution indicated that the case file is complete and is ready to proceed to trial. Bowen, who is represented by Nicolette Hamilton, was made the subject of a fingerprint order and is expected to return to court on July 22nd. Mama says she don't bother want the case. She don't bother want the trial business. You understand? She just want to go home with her boo. You see? Well, I don't know if she said that still, but she said she don't want to proceed. I just say. And you look at trouble sometime, like. You understand? The judge says she not having it. You see? Yes. Watch her. You know, normally when we hear about domestic violence and domestic abuse, it's normally we say, man a beat up woman, don't. I want to tell you, around Jamaica, you know, me hear still. You know, no boy, I never really see it yet. I see one it go on like. I mean, I see videos. Remember one time when one lady beat one brother with one cutlass down on one part, one place, like, and then just take a lick them, like, you know, he make it take lick. You understand? And some other local things, say. But generally speaking, is man a beat up a woman them. Man them! We don't need to start that something them. But watch her right there. Battered St. Mary men speaking out. He never said battered St. Mary man, you know. He said battered St. Mary. I St. Mary me come from. Then should I know where St. Mary me come from? Battered St. Mary men. You don't know about that something there. While underscoring the need for a greater emphasis on mediation to help rid St. Mary of the scourge of domestic violence, the parish's police head said fewer men are now choosing to suffer the crime in silence. We are happy that little by little, one by one, the males are reporting domestic violence against them, said Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson during this month's sitting of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. She stated that for the first 4 months of the year, 6 men in the parish have come forward to report domestic violence cases to the police. The number, however, pales in comparison to the 62 females who have reported such an offense during the same period. Man them, I don't need to talk. We really have to do more mediation, really, meditation. I would love all the stakeholders to help us in this regard, in terms of encouraging persons to go to the route of mediation, to talk things out instead of fighting it out. And not just fighting it out, but fighting it out in a manner that leads to death in some instances, or permanent injury in some persons. The senior crime fighter said. Make we continue. And a Bobbitt, Bobbette, Bobbette Morgan Simpson. Don't butcher the lady there. Teacher, stop doing the calling session. Do you know about the app called Calling, where you can know such a program? No, I don't know about it, like, but now that I said, I have a calling last night, but I have a problem with it. Why my camera lose focus like that? I would have back of me. Get D from behind me, Satan, like. You understand? Camera focus while sitting around the back of the road. You understand? I will definitely have a look at it and think. But no, it's just that sometimes means I use a kind of work off of my vibe and energy. Yes. I sometimes can't bother with certain good things. That's just the truth what God love. I not lie to you. But then I've been in a one judge up charged from premeditated murder to manslaughter. Next judge telling lady that the case is no longer in her hands, so that the judge is the witness in it. So is the judge the witness in the case? No, the judge is not the witness in the case, but the court has that power, apparently. You understand? So yeah. Just like how the court have the power apparently to reduce charges from murder to manslaughter. I mean, not apparently, they do really. So yeah, I guess. Auntie. But DeAndre, do you not see why the judge is taking that stance? First thing the man, I know the first time I got a quote for that sitting there. I don't know if it is the same female, but I know first. Machete lady behind you, step Mary, man. Yeah, boy. And thing. So, what me there then? Me there talk to Web Angel. So yes, Empress, I tried to do a call-in stream last night. Scotty wasn't in studio, so I brought her in, like come and bring her in on a stream at night time. But apparently she was having some echo on there, and I couldn't find out how to fix that. You understand? So I don't know. You see? Because it wasn't this audio interview so I use now. Because this one can't take phone calls. So I have to go look into the calling thing. I understand, but the lady said she doesn't want it to go further. Yes, DeAndre, we get that. But also, again, just so you understand why the judge decides she has to take that stance there. So, sometimes, as a judge, you have to protect the complainant from themselves. Because I said, alright, I watch this now, DeAndre. She tell the judge that. And then 2 weeks down the road, I see a man, they chop off her head. Then you see one DeAndre, I go come and say if the judge did put down her foot, this will not happen. Done. Me guarantee you say DeAndre, my little brother, I come say that. So the judge did have an opportunity to make an example out of this man and the leg of the man and the man kill the woman. So, I don't know. I understand exactly what the judge is doing, and it's the right move. That is my view upon it still. So, I don't know. You understand? Yeah. Hindsight is a hell of a thing, you know. But I could continue, so. Which I would like. Yeah. She noted that of the 18 murders reported in St. Mary's so far this year, 10 emanated from disputes such as domestic violence. Some of these disputes are so senseless, some of them are so unnecessary, that it is really a serious cause of concern, Superintendent Morgan asserted. She lamented that children are not spared from the whole matter of domestic violence and disputes in general. As a result, they sometimes perpetrate acts of violence at school and in the streets of the parish. She added, "We have been doing the school patrols and them something there. As a matter of fact, she said that St. Mary is a parish that has, I can't say that when she says she don't want to come to court. on the man. Well, okay. Well, many people would say it though, so I don't know. Zine? But the judge has the power to do that, and I suppose she's exercising said power. You understand? So, I don't know. But and then watch this then there, Jay. I could talk a little bit like. Let's go back to the X6 trial. I mean, apples and oranges still, but one of the things that people fail to remember is that the witness decided that he was no longer interested in testifying and giving evidence against the accused. So the case collapsed because he was the only witness. He was a star witness. You understand? So that was a decision. But we complain about that decision from that man. You understand? So why I'm decided to do that? So, I don't know. We have to be consistent right across the board then, sir. You see it? So if we okay with the woman saying she don't want to continue, why we not okay with the taxi driver saying no want evidence then? Just a ask. Cause it may seem totally different, but in truth, the woman says she don't want to proceed with the case. The taxi driver said no want to proceed with this, him done. So it's basically the same thing. But we are chastising the judge now for taking a stance. So we're okay with the woman say she don't want to proceed, but we're not okay with the taxi driver say him don't want nothing else to do with the case. Consistency. But I suppose we're okay with some things when them suit or we view things. I suppose. I don't know. Yeah. But we could continue. So I sent near him and them said them tired of beating. Them report it like. Cause one of the things why men not report domestic violence is because police them. Me hear say the police they laugh for them sometime and then sit there and tell them to go and go start out them thing and all of these things. And the man them get some buff and then sit there and the police they not work with the man them. So I don't know. You see. Mm-hmm. Kerry, how are you, man? How you doing? So, ladies, them over set me, they don't take time. We don't know about the foolishness. Yes, and domestic violence is wrong both ways. Whether a man or the perpetrator or females are the perpetrator. You understand? It name violence, domestic violence. You understand? So, you know what I mean? So I could continue. And this from about Monday around one part, so we'll have more people dead after that. So Jamaica murder tally now 534, more than that now. Because this was up to the 14th. The 14th was which day? That was last week, Saturday. Right, so up to last week, Saturday, there were 534 murders on record. So the latest crime statistics published by the Jamaica Constabulary Force indicate that murders are up 4% year on year. Up to May 14, the data shows that since the start of the year, 21 more people have been killed when compared to the corresponding period in 2021. Murders now stand at 534, as I said. So the St. Mary Police Division, as I said earlier, has the largest percentage increase with 18 murders being recorded over the period, up from 3 last year. So 15 more people have been murdered in St. Mary comparatively this year. This represents an increase of 500%. I never beat the taxi man. Paula Llewellyn and the judge, if you give the man 9 months for the go. Paula Llewellyn give the man 9 months. I was making a general statement. It was not just you per se, sir, because I don't even know what you say about that. I was just making a general statement. You understand? We can't be okay with some things in one regard and not okay with it in another regard. We have to be consistent across the board. That is the point that I am making still. So, fine. Okay. How many of them? how many of them are truly getting beat, or did they try to beat the woman and the woman? Well, me don't know any time I was never there. Yeah, understand what I say? I wasn't there, so I really don't. I really don't know. But on a serious note now, and as I said, since last Saturday, I would suspect that this 534 is closer now to 550. You understand? In the 1 week span there. You see? So I know. I'm going to show you these are just a few of the murders that have occurred between that period of time. Woman killed as gunmen attacked mourners at Medeiros. I think 2 people dead eventually from that incident. I remember serve me correctly. Don't correct me there if I'm wrong. A woman was killed and at least 3 other persons injured. Well, people, because I know people are cuss and say. I just read the article. I can't bother edit the article them every time I read it. But, okay. 3 other people injured after gunmen attacked a group of funeral attendees at the Medeiros Memorial Gardens in St. You can't even bury the dead these days and you might dead burying the dead. Just be a dead business. The funeral party was reportedly trailed from Kingston and attacked while at the burial. The incident happened about 1 p.m. Now, eyewitnesses say multiple rounds were discharged by the gunmen in the direction of the attendees. The police say the woman was pronounced dead at hospital, and the condition of, I think another person who sustained injuries died. I think a male also died. And the girl that died, she is the sister of Ananda Dean. Remember that young lady, that little girl that went missing, and they named the missing child report after her. This girl is her sister. I think she named Ashley. I don't even remember because we never updated the article at the time. My apologies to the family and friends and stuff. Let me see. Out of respect. That, I see the message. I soon read it. Ananda Dean, sister. Must come up with something. Alright. Woman killed at funeral identified as Ananda Dean, sister. Alright. Watch out. Right, so I know somebody else died. See it there? So I can bring up the article here. So the family of 11-year-old Ananda Dean, whose rape and murder sparked national outrage more than a decade ago, is reliving that agony after her 27-year-old sister Shanice, it's not Ashley, Shanice. After her 27-year-old sister Shanice was killed in a shocking funeral attack on Tuesday. Now, gunmen struck early in the afternoon at the Medeiros Memorial Park in Spanish Town, killing 2 members of the so it's 2 members of a funeral party and injuring 2 others. So the man who was killed has not been identified. And thing. So yeah, I won't get into the details behind that, but yes, Rasta. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Alright. No need to mention your source. But the reality is, alright, so I won't mention my source, but from one of the legal luminaries amongst the Teachem family, I think I can read it. I think I can read it. So, in relation to what we were discussing just now about the manslaughter murder situation, so basically, it is saying the reality is with almost every case, defense lawyers try to get a reduced charge if they believe their client is guilty. And prosecutors will try to avoid a trial if they think their case is not airtight. For instance, saying nobody saw the murder and there is no electronic evidence of the crime. A defense lawyer can say something like, "We're going to claim self-defense, and with no witness to say exactly how the fight took place, a prosecutor might not want to risk losing, so they offer a reduced charge in exchange for a guilty plea. That is just one of several reasons these things happen." You understand? I know that my source here, but I don't know if he was watching at the time. You understand? So, but yeah, always come true and things. So he is providing a little bit of perspective. I know he has probably a lot more to say about this, but I guess in the interest of time, that is what he had to say about it just now. You see me? So, funeral, you go funeral for bury a family member, your loved one, Why this come upon this? Why that GoPro thing and give me a fight, you know? But overhead cam is one GoPro, but see, no SIM card, no, but then me turn off that for a long time, so we don't know why I talk about this. But alright, the test we are testing. Equality not bad, you understand? It a go on, a nice go vibe. You know, like the other one where my face shine, I carry some fire shine like. You understand? I think that was a GoPro Euro 6. That one is a GoPro, about 10, one of them number there. I don't know. But alright. But so add some, we have the hardware, we can add some more sources. So as time goes by, we add them. You understand? And automate them, make them switch by themselves. Well, I mean, tell you, I can't take back streaming seriously and thing. You know what I mean? So we just have to make it thing a vibe. But I don't know what go on with that GoPro. They not GoPro. It's not going pro, if you get what I say. So that are 2 murders since May 14th, you know, where the number was 534. So I could say if we can add them. So there are 2 more. So that would then be, right. Kingston man killed in suspected reprisal for a schoolboy's murder. 44-year-old Marlon Barnaby Wisdom was shot dead by unknown assailants in the vicinity of Luke Lane and North Street in downtown Kingston. Investigators from the Kingston Central Police Division suspect the shooting was a direct reprisal for the recent killing of 18-year-old schoolboy footballer Omar Leng. Wisdom, who is from a Luke Lane address, was reportedly shot at least 10 times. The police believe the killings are linked to an ongoing feud involving gangsters from Hannatown and Middle and Upper Luke Lanes over the illegal usage of a car park across from the Kingston Public Hospital. Several roadways in the vicinity of the shooting have been cordoned off. Well, were cordoned off. This is a little bit old. So Leng, who was a student at the St. Andrew Technical High School, was shot and killed on his birthday last month. Yeah. So that are 3 more to the 534. So I could go and count. Man marked for death, killed in St. Elizabeth. So police are probing the murder of a man who they say was marked for death by a gang in the Spring Park community near Black River on Saturday, which is today. Police named the deceased as 30-year-old Chadwick White, a resident and laborer of Spring Park. A police report said that about 9:15 a.m., White was shot dead by a gunman traveling on a motorcycle. Now, head of the St. Elizabeth Police Superintendent Dwight Daly said White was on bail for charges of murder, illegal possession of firearm, and assault at common law. He was appearing before the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court, said Daly. The police chief added that White was warned to leave Spring Park. So, based on police intelligence, he was advised to leave his community as he was marked for death by members of a speculation gang. The gang named Speculation Gang. He, however, returned to the community this morning without the knowledge of the police. Whilst there, he was killed, added Daly. This latest murder follows the May 13 shooting of 5 people at a bar in Spring Park. Wow. So that's what? 4 more deaths to the 534. Woman shot dead at mother's 9-night service. You hear them sitting there? Did you hear that? A woman who arrived on the island Thursday to bury her mother today, Saturday, was shot and killed in Spalding Garden, Central Village, St. Catherine on Friday night. 3 other persons were shot and injured in the incident. The woman has been identified as 59-year-old Marcia Dillon. Now, reports the Observer published it was a developing story at the time. Reports reaching the Observer online are that gunmen opened fire at a group of people at a 9-night or setup shortly after 9 p.m. That's why I'm not even too go them places too tough, you know. You understand? What's if I don't know somebody? And what's if it's like it's a shooting death, 9-night business? I'm not sure about that. Because I say right now, you don't even know I go on the road. So that's one more death. We're not done it. Police investigating murder of Old Harbour man. So the police in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, are investigating the murder of a man along Sharpers Lane in the community last night. Dead is 20-year-old Gerald Beckford, a labourer of Sharpers Lane. Police say the incident took place about 9 p.m. and when the cleaner visited the southwestern St. Catherine community today, the area was still tense and the spot of blood seemed almost still fresh, where the deceased received a fatal bullet. His visibly shaken father, Desmond Beckford, described his narrow escape from the deadly attack. It's right here, so I dive off when me hear the man them said, "Don't move," and shot him. Beckford said, pointing to the bushes where he made his escape. I was trying to stop him, Gerald, from walking on the road. I say that him I go for a woman. Well, I said but I them. I said that him I go for a woman, and that is when them shoot him. Me not supposed to drink and see that me have to do right now. That me have to do right now. The father said that he was aware that his son was involved with a 17-year-old girl from the community. Him get threat before him get the gunshot. It really sad, but God not sleeping, Beckford said. Beckford is saying a lot though. Other community residents told the Gleaner that Beckford prepared charcoal for a living. Yes, him work with the father and burn coal. Him don't make trouble. So it's really a sad thing inside the community. Marcus Clark, a resident, said, "Oh, me tell you something about that. Let me know who the back of me. You understand? There's something strange. But there." Deputy Superintendent of Police Mark Harris said the police have intensified the investigation and are intent on apprehending the person or persons involved in the murder of Beckford. So the Gleaner was informed that there have been 9 murders in the Old Harbour subdivision since the start of the year. And those are just a few of the murders that would have occurred from the 14th to today. You understand? So I suspect that that number is not very far from 350. I could be wrong still. I hope I am wrong. And a number of shootings because many people received gunshot injuries during those shootings. So, same thing again. I tell her Rasta. Dinner shear, dumpling and mackerel. I don't know. No, so the Firearms Act, the bill is still in front of the House of Parliament being debated. And you know that I report on stories sometime where it is said that a licensed firearm holder has been charged with illegal possession of firearm. And they must teach, if it be illegal possession of firearm and it's a legal gun. Yeah, but as a licensed firearm holder, there are rules and guidelines as it relates to engagement and use of your weapon. If you use your weapon in contraventions of those rules and guidelines, it is deemed, the weapon is now deemed as an illegal firearm. So, yeah, that has come up for debate as there are people who are suggesting that illegal firearm charge as it relates to licensed firearm holder should become using unlawful use of the firearm instead of illegal possession of firearm. So, some people are saying yeah, some people are saying nay, as with many things. Proposed changes to the new firearms regulations bill could see licensed holders who use their weapons to commit offenses or act outside of the ambit of their permit liable to higher sentences and being barred permanently from holding a license. Under the current firearms licensing regime, if a firearm holder is found guilty of committing an offense with a legal weapon, the possession of that weapon is deemed illegal. But a recommendation has been made by stakeholders for the introduction of the offense of unlawful use of firearm to substitute illegal possession for the purposes of protecting persons' records. However, at Thursday's meeting of the Parliamentary Joint Select Committee, which is examining the 2022 Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulations Act, post-submission, Chief Technical Director in the National Security Ministry, Rohan Richards, said there is no need for this additional offence as unlawful use. Automatically triggers an illegal possession charge. So let me read it again. So Rohan Richards said there is no need for this additional offence as unlawful use automatically triggers an illegal possession charge. He stressed that the courts have accepted the existing regime, which treats unlawful use as a basis for illegal possession. Now, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahou Fort, pointed out that although a licensed firearm holder may be treated with more leniency, it does not mean that a breach of their permit should be treated lightly. She said in contemplating the provisions, illegal use of licensed firearms could be made an aggravating factor in determining penalties. However, she said many licenses are concerned about the current legal, or licensees are concerned about the current legal framework for such offenses. This has raised a lot of concerns, so we have a lot of case law around it. She noted, arguing that in developing the bill, the intent was to take out some of the sting out of that, so that once an individual is licensed to hold a firearm, if they commit an offense with it, they would be charged for the offense itself, but they would not be made liable to the penalty of illegal possession of firearm. She explained that the mechanism is now being implemented to enable law enforcement to trace and hold people accountable, and that this would neutralize the need to render possession illegal when individuals operate outside the boundaries of their licenses. Once you have gone through that process, even if you commit an offense where the firearm is featured, you would be punished for the offense. Using the firearm may be an aggravating factor that could make you liable to a higher sentence, but it certainly wouldn't stretch back and render your possession of firearm illegal, she emphasized. Okay. I open up following because the article is kind of very long. She said there should therefore be clarity in keeping with the policy intent, where when a licensed firearm is used to commit an offense, the use of that firearm may be regarded as an aggravating factor to increase the sentencing. Separately, the former Attorney General said using the firearm to commit an offense contrary to the terms and conditions of the license would then be a matter for the firearm licensing authority to decide whether to bar the person from holding a license or for a period of time. Further, Committee Chairman and National Security Minister Dr. Chang said drafters had agonized over how to create separation of the unlicensed firearm and licensed firearm holders in relation to the illegal possession offense. We have to look at how we deal with the licensed firearm holders who have gone through the process. We have had cases where people who have taken care to manage their firearm well and in the face of challenges sometimes make errors. But it is on their record. A charge of illegal possession is a charge of illegal possession. It has great implications for the persons involved, even if they are found innocent. Interesting. In making its case for the promulgation of the bill, the government noted that 85% of the murders are committed with a firearm, and that most gun-related crimes are committed using illegal weapons. So the legal framework is aimed at tackling the trafficking, manufacturing of, and activities associated with illegal weapons, distinctly from firearms that are registered by the FLA. It also proposes mandatory minimum prison terms for certain offenses. So yes, the one whole conundrum situation, to and fro and back and forth and rock the boat and all of them something. They go to court and thing. Because as I said, many people find it curious. Oh, it could be an illegal firearm when it's a licensed weapon. Right. So if you use it one way where the permit saying if you use it, then it is deemed illegal. So that is on your record, even if you are acquitted of the offense, still on your record as being charged for illegal possession of firearm. So they are trying to fix that. But the technical expert in the ministry has said, if you use it unlawfully, then it automatically triggers an illegal firearm offense. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Now, the whole Privy Council situation continues. Discussion. People are saying, we need to move away from the Queen and become a republic and such, but there are other implications that will come with that. One, we will no longer be able to bring cases in front of the UK-based Privy Council, and as such, we'll probably have to go to the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. Now, many prominent lawyers are of the view that we should continue our affiliation, association, links with the Privy Council. Valerie Nita Robertson has publicly spoken about the fact that if we keep the Privy Council as our final appellate court, we see now where other prominent attorneys have chimed in and have weighed in on the situation. Lawyers support Privy Council's view. Alright, and let me put some more context. There was a case in Trinidad where a man who is on death row appealed to the Privy Council saying that the death penalty is illegal, unconstitutional, and the Privy Council ruled that no, based on the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, the death penalty is not unconstitutional. So that is how this latest round of debate came. So lawyers support Privy Council's view death penalty disproportionate and unjust. Some Jamaican lawyers have come out in support of comments by the United Kingdom Privy Council that the death penalty will often be disproportionate and unjust. Yeah? So even though the Privy Council said that the death penalty is not unconstitutional in Trinidad, they stated that the death penalty will often be disproportionate and unjust. The observation was made in a ruling handed down in an appeal case from Trinidad and Tobago. The Privy Council, which is also Jamaica's highest court, held that based on that country's constitution, let me read this properly. The Privy Council, which is also Jamaica's highest court, held that based on that country's constitution, the death penalty was not unconstitutional. The death penalty has not been used there since 1999. In 2004, Jamaica removed mandatory death penalty for murder. The sentence remains on the books for certain categories of murder, but there has been no execution since February of 1988. Now, attorney at law Bert Samuels said the death sentence is the only sentence that is irreversible once it is carried out. Experience has shown that jurors and courts at all levels have mistakenly caused the innocent to be executed, Samuel said, acknowledging that the topic is very controversial. Now, attorney at law Linton Gordon says Jamaica should abolish the death penalty because it serves no useful purpose and that there is no evidence that the punishment has been effective. Gordon said when someone is executed, it was an act of finality and there can be grave injustices in such cases because it cannot be corrected once carried out. I think from a practical point of view, we don't intend to use it at all. Then why keep it? Argued attorney at law Christopher Townsend. Townsend said the general consensus seemed to be that it was in fact an outdated position and was not reflective of the general views of the society. I'm not sure about that. Last November, Prime Minister Andrew Holness asserted that if he were to have his way, criminals convicted for illegal possession of firearm would be liable to face the death penalty. Now, Queen's Counsel Peter Champini said he would argue that unlike the Trinidad situation, in Jamaica the degree of culpability is taken into consideration because we have capital murder and non-capital murder to begin with. He pointed out that the imposition of the death penalty in this jurisdiction is safe for the worst of the worst cases in terms of facts. However, speaking broadly, I have mixed feelings about whether or not we should continue with the death penalty because to my mind, life is sacrosanct. But, and this is why I have mixed feelings, gone are the days when murders would be confined to certain categories of persons. By that I mean you have so many instances nowadays where young children are being slaughtered indiscriminately, he said. Champini added, you have many cases where the elderly, very senior citizens are being slaughtered indiscriminately, and instances where women and very helpless people who are unable to defend themselves in any shape or form are being murdered. The prevalence of it would lead me to suggest that there should be the death penalty for those cases. But the senior lawyer says he has a challenge. What is the point of having it on the book if they are not utilizing it? He emphasized. Also, Champagne now say get rid of it. He must say it should be retained for some categories. I have said that too. So I guess we have the same views on that. Yes. So yeah. This is more about the death penalty, yeah or nay, versus the Privy Council, but many lawyers, especially the Queen's Councils, because if, watch out, if we don't use the Privy Council again, the lie them are Queen's Council, what am I going to be now? Them still going to be Queen's Council like? I don't know. Nell, blessings. Good to see you. Now, this is very hush-hush. I don't know why, but the Cockpit country situation has gone nowhere. Even though the boundary was gazetted and passed into law recently in Parliament, I suppose. STEA, the Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency, has brought Noranda and New Day Alumina to court. Well, they actually brought them to court before now, so let me explain. Injunction sought to halt Noranda mining near Cockpit Country. Hearing set for May 31st. So the Southern Trelawney Environment Agency and Farmer Clifton Barrett are seeking an injunction from the Supreme Court to bar Noranda Jamaica Bauxite Partners 2 and New Day Alumina Jamaica Limited from any mining activity until a case against them has been decided. The application for restraining orders, which names the Attorney General as first defendant, has been set for May 31st. The claimants are suing the Attorney General and the bauxite companies over the proposed mining in sections of St. Ann and Trelawney. The trial is down for October 24 to 27 and 31st. Now, they want the court, so let me read that again for context. The claimants are suing the Attorney General and the bauxite company over the proposed mining in sections of St. Ann and Trelawney. So the trial is down for August 24, 27th, and 31st. Right, so STEA, which is the Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency, had taken Noranda and New Day to court, and that case is to be tried, is to be aired on October 24th, 27th, and 31st. Now, STEA is asking the court also to put a cease and desist or a restraining order against mining in place until that case is heard, because they are concerned that mining may begin before the court hear that case. You know follow? If you don't follow, you don't make me know. No. Alright, I said no, but no, actually in an article. No, they want the court to block any activity before the trial takes place. Hence the injunction that was applied for on March 29th. So the claimant state in court documents filed by the law firm Hilton Powell that prior to commencing any mining or other activity in Special Mining Lease 173 area, the third defendant, New Day, was required to obtain the relevant permit from the National Environment and Planning Agency along with the Natural Resources Conservation Authority. The permit to mine in areas near the ecologically sensitive Cockpit Country was released in February. So these permits have been released. On March 3, Noranda and New Day indicated that they intend to start work preparatory to mining this year. The claimants are contending. They argued that unless restrained by the court, the defendants threaten and intend to commit constitutional breach. Because if there's a case in front of the court to be tried October 24, 27, and 31st, and you go start mine without a conclusion to that case, even though the mining licenses were issued, then that would be a breach of the yeah, okay, makes sense. Watch out now, make a continue. I learn now. What with it? If the defendants are allowed to proceed or continue, the injury to the community and environment will be irreparable, and the court's judgment at trial may be rendered nugatory, since the damage, I hope I pronounce that right. Nugatory? I think that's what, yeah. Since the damage would have already been done, the claimant said. The damage is already done. The Special Mining Lease 173, dated August 28, 2018, between the government and New Day, establishes over 1,200 hectares of land for mining. It provides for a New Day to appoint Noranda as its agent to... Okay. Okay. Oh, context is important, you know. It provides for a New Day to appoint Noranda as its agent to mine the bauxite and perform other related activities. So it is not actually New Day that is doing the mining. New Day got the licenses and they are now basically using Noranda to do the mining. Remember, Noranda is really and truly owned by the government of Jamaica. The government of Jamaica has 51% stakes in Noranda. Do not lose sight of that. So it's not really Noranda mine, the Cockpit country, if it is mine. It is the government of Jamaica. But we get back to that. Watch out. It's more than just subcontracting, you know, Nell. Because if you watch what I go on, never mind. Just watch what I go on. Watch out. We shall do now. Yes, the defendants, which are being represented by the law firm Focus, Patterson, Mayor Hamilton, have rejected the claimant's argument, noting that issues relating to the operation have been in the public domain for some time now. We maintain that no aspect of Noranda Jamaica Bauxite Partners to our New Day Alumina Jamaica Limited operation will or may lead to irreparable harm. Now, first thing, mining often leads to irreparable harm, so I don't know where that comes from. As you have asserted, we make no further comment at this time, the firm said in a March 21st response to the claimants. In his affidavit, Executive Director of the Southern Trelawney Environment Agency, Hugh Dixon, claimed Noranda's intention to start work this year in Industrial Pen will dislocate residents and destroy the lands they use to make their livelihoods. He also expressed concern that New Day and Noranda would be going ahead with its project with an outstanding court matter. I believe the risk of injustice favors the grant of interim injunctions, Dixon said, noting that if it is later decided that the injunction should not have been granted, New Day / Noranda would suffer a relatively short delay in beginning its planned activity. The government of Jamaica has 51% stake in Noranda Jamaica Bauxite Partners too, with the remaining 49% owned by the London-based Concord Resource Limited through New Day. Last year, Noranda advised that the original area proposed for mining had been reduced by 25%, from 8,335 hectares to 6,226 hectares. Only about 18% of the reduced area will be mined. A section of the original SML 173 had also been excluded from the modified proposal, and the proposed mining area falls outside of the designated Cockpit Country Protected Area. The area given up by Noranda, referred to as the Cloudback Area, contains bauxite, but there will be no mining there, revealed Noranda consultant Dr. Conrad Douglas of Conrad Douglas and Associates at public meeting last November. It is proposed that mining activities will be undertaken in 5-year cycles for 25 years, with the rate of dry bauxite production estimated as high as 6 million dry metric tons per annum. This has potential to earn about $150 million per year to the Jamaican economy, Douglas said. I want to point out something specifically. This statement. Because, you see, when you don't know, you just don't know, you know. But teach them no. See, me just post it. Only about 18% of the reduced area will be mined. May I read that again? They are saying, so the area was reduced from 8,335 hectares to 6,226. And they're saying now, listen what they must say. Only 18% of the reduced area will be mined. You hear that sound good? Oh, just 18%. Let me tell you this. The 18% that they are saying will be mined is 100% of what they want to mine. I repeat, because some people don't understand it, so them say all sorts of things. That 18% that they are saying of the 6,226 hectares. See? Because how the Cockpit country set up, you have the open, you have the conical shape hills and what we call I don't remember half the top of my head still. See? But the area where them not going to mind the conical hills. So it is the area between them one. See, like me know the terminology, I just not remember you know. The 18% that they are saying is 100% of what they want. Don't be tricked. Yeah? The 18% that they are saying is 100% of what they want. Let me put that out there, so. What the hell that name again? But remember, one next time. We'll get rusty. You know see? Yeah. So we are watch it. I should invite Mr. Dixon on one of these nights and have a reason with him. You know, Mr. Dixon is my very good friend. You understand? I knew Mr. Dixon long before the Cockpit country situation because they operate STEA, the Southern Trelawney Environmental Agency. They do caving and stuff, and I had taken a set of my CXC students on a field trip. They were looking at limestone, and we did some caving. So from them time, we met a link there and thing, and it just worked out. Say him at the face of the Cockpit country fight, and we did done have a link already, and them something. Yeah, so let me say so. I'm a G. You see, he and the team continue to fight, and he remains resolute and steadfast that there should be no mining in certain sections of the Cockpit country. So we will watch and we will see. Yeah. Why me I tell you? Time jump, but time no fool, you see? No, we have a tendency to talk about there's no opportunity for youths in our country. We say it just willy-nilly many times. And I have often contended that whilst there are not enough opportunities for every youth in the country, or probably for most, but there are opportunities there if you are interested in opportunities. You may not really get the opportunity that you specifically desire, but it doesn't mean that opportunities don't exist. You understand? Before I went to Teachers College, I did quite a few little things. You understand? We did up a White River Valley with tourists. You understand? In a river about a place and then sitting there, pan raft and a rake up place and these things. Then we work as a mechanic for about 1 year and then sitting there. I didn't want to go to Teachers College. I just couldn't go at the time, but I find other opportunities. You understand what I say? So, you know what I think of. Just saying. Listen to that story. I just decided to say it's an interesting share. Furniture maker bemoans youth's lack of interest in the trade. Remember an opportunity in there, you know. Herbert Williams is not my family. I don't know Master Herbert. You understand? Herbert Williams has been making furniture since he was 15 years old and said that his decision to learn cabinet making more than 3 decades ago was one of the best he has ever made. Williams, who operates Moped once, I would have said about no one down there wants Herbert because he plays name Moped, who operates Moped One Stop in his hometown of Goshen, Moko Clarendon, said that he is worried for the future of furniture making as young people are not interested in it. Many gravitate towards construction or something else, or scamming or something. So it is just me right now with some ladies assisting me part-time. But Williams his name, so you know ladies have to assist, you know what I think. So we got to work. You understand? Apolline Ford, one of the women who assists Williams in his furniture shop, said the trade is not attracting young people. It takes too long for the money to come. That is what they told me. When you go to the construction site, at the end of the week, you get your pay. However, this job, when you finish it, the person collects it and then you get your money. So they are not really into this job as they want fast money. Meanwhile, William shared that his fascination with the craft led him to seek apprenticeship in a workshop in Maypen, the parish capital, more than 30 years ago. His next step was to purchase tools, after which he began his furniture making business. Now fast forward to 2022, Williams has imprinted his stamp on the sector as he is widely regarded in his community as a skilled craftsman. He said that he doesn't see himself ever doing anything else. Me no feel so me can come out at it again. to how much customers me have right now. But I wish someone would take my place in the industry. A man want pass down his skills. You see what I go on? And nobody there if you accept it. Ford said that Williams' shoes will not be easily filled whenever he decides to hang up his tool bag. This is a dying art, and Mr. Williams is a good tradesman because he does not do crash program jobs, she said. He does jobs that you order, and he is an antique builder. He does his own designs. He carves for himself. He is a very good sander. He can make from a pin to an anchor, Jaja, in the woodwork trade. So the youth them want fast. Me want it fast. You understand? So the youth them, that's the thing me, you know. But the opportunities are there, you know. You remember? None are there. And this a man I try to look some youths to teach some skills to make some money. You know how much you make one good bed about ya? You know how much you make one good dress about ya? You know how much money you make a good chest top drawers about here? You know how much money to put up some cabinet in a one very nice kitchen about ya? You know how much money if you make some good door about ya? You know how much money if you build some window jam and some door frame, window frame and door jam, bombard. Window frame and door jam about ya? Imagine all this a hotel bill and you get to work if you do the window frame them and the door jam them family. Plus it hang the door them and all of them something there. But no. But there are no opportunities here. I mean, ask everybody if you turn woodwork cabinet makers, you know, and welders, you know. But like, we go back to the conversation we had last night. We have been so tricked in this country that in order for people to notice you have to dress up in long sleeve shirt and tie, choking, you know, and three-piece suit where hat like a wine and chop it here. Else is nobody. But are the plumber and the welder and the cabinet maker and the tiler and the mason and them and they make the real money them out here, you know? You understand? Some man you see in their shirt and tie. I tell you that trick me for ears, you know. In a shirt and tie. But how him look nice, see what a well-dressed young man. And me feel a fool. But thank you. And me I did suffer like. You understand? And some man runs up, lay some pipe and tile some floor and all of these things. I'm rich. And me, I take compliment about me just nice. Like me a fool. You understand? And them man, then that's all dirty, tear up clothes on boot like and then rich. Understand it? You understand? So, me tell us that thing I designed for we them trick we, you know. We get trick. You understand? But me catch up. Them can't trick me again. Can't treat me again. I'm always singing because I say, you see, but they can't treat me again. I don't know what I think there now. You them need to understand, say, get in a trade. One of them time when me have time, I go for art to learn one trade, you know. You understand? Oh, I forgot to me have some whole heap of things on the camera there when I feel on the light. You see me? So, yeah. I don't know which one. Tiling. I need them not so good again if it kneel down, bend down and tile. I like lay pipes. Laying pipes is my thing. I good as go learn for lay more pipe. You understand? Yeah man, we lay pipes from time to time. So we good as lay some pipe. You see it? Hey, pipe laying as good as my thing. Yeah, good as take up a plumbing thing there. Electrical. You ever get shot techniques? Let me say shock. I like that thing, you know. But boy, I don't know. Pipe laying. I good as lay some pipe. Pipe for lay. You understand? I good as that. Hey, what you say? Watch more pipes. But seriously, I mean, I kind of handy them way, you know. I will do things around the house. See? But I kind of have this. Just call the guy. You understand? It's the guy that is his skill, so you pay the guy. But we do things, you understand, we can do things. You see, and it's just that we don't have it, most of the tools that we want to do certain local things still. But I will carry put on time on, so carry mash up somebody's life and things. So we need to learn, we need to acquire a skill and thing and make people trick on about say shirt and tie business. I mean, if you have your good job and you're working in your shirt and tie, fine, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But we can't continue to be bossy slaves around us, man. Watch your language, Ken. We don't mean to laugh at that. True, we don't care that good you to that. But brother, we keep it clean, you understand? Yeah, man. I say plumb with the hard work. Earthquake teeth. Stop joking. Yeah? It stopped, Chrissy. So Christina is a Jamaican educator who is currently teaching in Japan. And, you know, Japan is earthquake center. So I hope... So we're waiting on Christina. We're waiting to hear from her. Oh, yeah, just stop. No damage won't away. It's just a regular occurrence in one of them one day, right? The alert came on the phone first. Okay. As a cabinet maker, furniture maker in America, I work as a furniture repair technician and I almost make more than the Prime Minister of Jamaica per month. See it there? God, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, okay, Chrissy? Yeah, just a regular one. We figure as much. But we hope it's not a foreshock. You understand? Or we hope it's just one of them ones where I release some build up energy along some fault line on one part. So it'll save a major one in the future. Just go and hold it. I know you probably get used to it. So. Do furniture making. Boy, I don't eat dust there. The sinus kind of stuff. No, man, I pipe me while here, man. You understand? Alright, tired. I don't know. We see. But I want act. Alright. So, alright. Truth is, I kind of have a skill, but I don't know. We don't do formal training. I did welding as my practical when I was in high school. So I do that. I can do that. You understand? So, I don't know. One of them things. It was a big one. Oh, yeah? Above 6, above 5, above 6. Are you going to get that info there yet? Just check the magnitude. Okay, so she check it. What are the magnitude? 6 something? Rated. As me I say. Yeah, that is big. Well, I hope that there was no major damage. And I mean, Japan is the country in the world that is most prepared for seismic activities. But, you know, nature is still a hell of a thing. So I hope that this will be the only one for now, Chrissy. So, yeah. I sent you the info on Twitter. Okay. Auntie. And one day we need for do a look up, you know, reason, you know, Jamaican living in Japan, you know, Chrissy. I've been wanting to do that for a long. I think there are other people doing it now. You know, we don't really want, you know, running for nobody thing. But, okay. Magnitude 6. Intensity 5. Epicenter of the coast. Oh, of the coast. Then that no good. Is there a tsunami warning? May I try to open me? Why not open? Okay. Come peace. We are journeying with Jamaican sister in a Japan area. Well, magnitude 6. Well, maybe off the coast. So, maybe there's a tsunami warning. I don't know. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, peeps. So, no tsunami threat. That's good. That is good. Teacher heard about the wanted man. Police took off the eye. Oh, I him. Me know of the situation in Simpson, but I never know the details. I know there was some shooting on the highway. I never know say. Well, me assume it's the same one, the same situation. Okay. Me know the name too because I've seen that name in many a wanted man list. Okay, so I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget. No. I'm going to forget do the research and see what go on in the night when we done for a morning and thing. But give thanks. But I heard about a situation. Because Scotty didn't even link me say me as a shootout up on the highway. But the info that I had wasn't really a shootout. I just know there was a shooting. So I don't know. Auntie, but give thanks so we can look into it. But yeah, as me, God man, as we said in high school, I did some welding. That was my practical, and so I don't know. I get flash about 3 times back then, you know. Brother, that in the next story for you next time. But peace, big up on yourself. And that's how we are cut it tonight. Chrissy, I hope that you will be okay. You know, definitely I'll keep checking and stuff and thing. And as I said, I hope this is just one of them create the way I release energy along some fault line and thing. And it's not a foreshock. Yeah. So we'll watch and see. But 6 is serious business. And thing. Peeps, big up on yourself. Good night. Scotty was not able to join us tonight. She's having internet issues. Her internet has been down for the better part of the day. So let me apologize for her. I know some people love when she's there. Yeah, and so I love when she's here too. You know, I get a different perspective on the topics and such, and you know, and different vibes. Plus, people they love Scotty, you see me? So it's a good vibes all around. Peace, big up on yourself. And thing, I own a call-in stream, so I'm gonna look out for that one of them time when we get round to it, and we see how it goes. So peeps, give thanks, appreciate the support. Jamaican live all about. I think, yeah, I am interested to, as I said, and I was like I have a list of things that I wanted to add to the content creation type of thing. You understand? Many things that we have ideas for, you know, eventually other people kind of do them, you know, we don't really like, you know what I mean? But the work is the work. So maybe one of them there will raise with Christina. As I said, she is out in the Far East and things. So we see it go. Tuesday, interview premiere. 7:30. Make it a date and don't be late. Don't look for it. Get book for it. But I don't know. Labor Day. Tomorrow, Monday night, teach info different though. Monday night, we see, I don't know, if it depends. Maybe I look at Labor Day vibe and think. Oh, website, if I can't do it tomorrow. Thanks for the suggestion. We said the app or the application or the software is called Call In. I'll definitely have a look at it. Oh, non-fatal shooting along. Oh, so James did send me it and think. Yeah, me did see it, but then I never know what I'm going. And think, who bro? What you mean? You mean the Duxy Ranks chooser man. Zane and thing. Yeah, nah, keep no secret. Peace, big up on yourself. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see, well, the weekend done tonight anyways. You know, Sunday I start a week. I'll see you, I don't know, I'll see the vibes Monday night. We see what going on. I don't think I have an interview Monday. Well, we had one and then it was rescheduled. So, I don't know. I don't think I have an interview Monday. So, maybe, if the vibes is right, we drop a stream. If anything go on, we see we scattered upon two and them things. So, we see. But Tuesday, Duxy Ranks interview. Book out for. If you don't know, man, cook out for. Mr. Davis, where I deal with the youth. DeAndre, big up yourself, you know. Empress Web. Manners and respect. Empress Rosie, sis, big up yourself. You understand? Rosie, you know, so I pick about one good 3 dozen mango for you. That time, I not even talk to you about a mango thing yet. You understand? But the link they never make, for you get the link they fi make. So the mango them never reach. You understand? Some Julian, some East Indian and some whole heap of things and things. Some of them end up even good again like for a long time, and some of them end up eat back and then things. But one of them time you get mango, don't worry yourself. You understand? I'm wondering if City can stumble tomorrow. Boy, brother, film season just fizzle out here, man. So boy, I don't even know. Right now, I don't even care. You understand me? I say, I tell you the truth. I just want to know so we beat Watford tomorrow and call it a day. Right, brother, FA Cup final last and penalty. Capital One Cup final last and penalty. Zane, Champions League comeback of the decade and then we make it slip. My youth, boy. I don't know. I give thanks to the Club World Cup still. And But that one, and UEFA Cup name? I don't even remember. That one there. You see, but boy, I don't know, yeah, man. We saw like a Helsha Beach, brother. And then the whole sanction situation, and then Rudiger contract situation, and Christian's contract situation, and brother, it's like them over with, man. You understand? But big up to Liverpool. Liverpool and City play the best brand of football in the world right now. You understand? We can't go around that. In Madrid, we see a final go said way and team. But boy, I don't know. Me give up. Next season we talk some football. Me depressed. Need to be sitting there over here. Yeah, man. Why do you even do? And thing. Liverpool always. Yeah, big up Liverpool. I mean, a big side. You understand? Liverpool don't beat me all season in open football in the weather. Boy, I mean, I tell you, so we start like, boy, I do it for do. We don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What big up for this cell? Be depressed. Be God. No one that depressed me no more. Be God. So I could say I got tomorrow there, Jay. It would be good if City and Liverpool were actually playing on the final day. And winner takes all. That would be fun. But you know what I think? Give thanks. It has been a very, very trying season. And the two best teams are still in contention to win the title. They have been the two most consistent teams. They have played the best football across the season. And they are the most deserving team. You understand what I say? So we can't go around that. You see? And things. So I can watch it. Right now, I'm even busy with the two of them. I tell you the truth, God. We see what going on in the summer and we come back up forward, run on that part of September. You understand what I say? Yeah, man, and thing. Stop. No, I'm not show off. I show off, you know, Mr. Davis. You know, so I mean, if you make Rose get some mango and it never work out, you understand? I just that. Hey. Yeah, man. The other day, I want to tell you what killing off the teacher. I want to kill off the teacher, the boss. I hope so, you know, Warrior Star. I hope so. We get an owner, you know. Hopefully, them have the same vision. Well, then different from Roman still. Link me, Mr. Davis, man. Link me up and we'll see what we can do, man. If people are circle and thing, you know, and it can happen, we make it happen, man. You understand? Real Madrid lose out by Mbappe. I vex I. Brother, we say right now, I'm not busy with nobody apart from me, right? Brother, I don't want a man talk to me about the football. Yo. Me don't want a man talk to me about the football. Me soon one next time. When me get over my depression. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, bro. My condolences to you and the family. And Tim, we have to continue the conversation at a later date still. Let me wrap up your one. Yeah. But you still not tell me what go on it still. I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your child's mother. And you mean in this batch of latest deaths, Godman and thing. Yeah, I don't want a man talk to me about football. On the low me. I'm deal with my depression in a silence. You understand? 2 final me lose the season, brother. 2 final to the same side, you know. The same way, you know. Earlier before the 8 that. Okay, bro, okay. You probably have a reason why that way one of them time and thing still. But I'm sorry to hear about your loss, my brother. Ryan, what go on, bro? Big up yourself. Peace. Big up on yourself. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday. Maybe Monday night. I don't know. If Scotty and the vibes, probably she come here and do a call-in stream. I don't know. We'll see what go on. And I'll still also try to figure out what is the issue that was creating that echo on Scotty's end last night. I'm still not wrap my head around that yet. And if my head can't wrap around it, very big. Peeps, walk good. Step with Jack. Safe travel upon the gravel. Soon or soon. Manners and respect. Art of love. I'm out.
Of the Teach Dem radio show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until the next episode, check out the Teach Dem YouTube channel for more good things from the yard. Also, we'd appreciate a rating for this episode. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Blades and Shades Barber, thanks for the contribution. I'm out.